Find out what it is that British Airways World Cargo is targeting. They've gone into a collaboration with what we know as Iberia, form the International Airlines Group, the IAG. It's about introducing the largest ever Boeing 747-800 freighter into this market. That's as Africa increasingly improves on its footprint internationally in trade, the look east and the amalgamation of trade between the emerging markets of East Asia and Africa, the growth of Latin America as well, and of course the traditional markets of Europe. So Mark Stubbings, who is the World Cargo Regional Commercial Manager for Africa, is with us here today. Mark, I think quite a bit of a fluid introduction I made there, but why is this a momentous occasion, this arrival of this freighter plane? It's very big. And why is it coming through the 1st of November?
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons why. We've formed the alliance with Iberia, as you quite rightly mentioned, IAG. Yeah. We're now IAG Cargo. Right. Historically, we've flown belly hold capacity freight out of this market. And now with a tie-up with Iberia, we've decided strategically to place a freighter aircraft into this market. The freighter aircraft in question is, as you say, the brand new 747-800, which is a more fuel efficient, more emissions friendly, quieter, and a larger freighter aircraft.
A larger freighter aircraft, is that because Africa's profile as an investment destination is growing? I know that percentage-wise, African trade is now something like 2% of global trade. It's not a big figure, but definitely an improvement for us.
Absolutely. The export market in Africa has been a steady growth. It's known economically that it's doing very well at the moment. And for us, the strategic tie-up with Iberia affords us to bring in a larger aircraft to help out with the export market. We're looking to bring it here into Johannesburg, which commences next week, back up into Kenya, and then back into mainland Europe.
What does a freighter aircraft offer? I mean, I know it's got no passenger seats, but what is it that you're looking to carry from it?
It offers the ability to move freight that typically cannot be moved on the line haul. So on a passenger commercial aircraft, you're restricted by the size of the belly, as we call it, of the aircraft. With the Dash 8, as we call it, the 747-800, we're an oversized cargo or outsized cargo. The nose of the aircraft opens and allows you to load pretty much anything you can think of. It has 120 tons capability, which will cover just about anything you'd like to move.
Okay, now we know that the traditional trading partners of Africa are Europe, certainly for most of the leading economies. If you look at a country like Kenya, for instance, they export largely perishables. It's horticultural things, it's flowers, it's fruit and vegetables. So they need that service literally daily going into Europe. Is that a specialized service that you'd be offering then if you were catering exclusively for Kenya?
Yeah, absolutely. The African market for me predominantly is a perishable market, as you quite rightly say, and that's the same for Kenya as it is for Johannesburg. Right. The freighter allows us to take a stab at getting into the market when our line haul is full. So a lot of time in Kenya, we fly every day full on our commercial aircraft. We need more capacity because the market demands more capacity, and this freighter aircraft will allow us to do that.
Obviously, we've seen the shifting gravity, as they call it, of international economics from west to east. Africa is now increasingly trading with the economies of East Asia. Just China-Africa trade is now in the region of $116 billion. Are you also changing geographically your focus when you're dealing with the Africans?
Yeah, we've changed it slightly. The freighter typically we've been flying from Hong Kong through the Middle East into Europe. With our tie-in with Iberia to form IAG Cargo, we've decided to take one of those 3 freighter aircraft that we use on those sectors and bring it down into Africa. I see an opportunity for us to grow the export market from South Africa and Kenya into mainland Europe, where imports in countries such as Spain are huge with the fish and the perishable markets.
Obviously, with your tie-up now with Iberia, it's introducing you to the Latin American flight route because traditionally Spain has that relationship.
Yes.
Does Africa feature in that continue?
Absolutely. One of the reasons why British Airways joined forces with Iberia is to complement the network. So British Airways is known for being extremely strong North Atlantic, Europe, Asia Pacific. Iberia is extremely strong Latin America and parts of Europe where we're not so strong. And plus also British Airways brings Africa to the table. And again, Iberia has never been as strong as BA. So the combination of the two companies allows for that. IAG Cargo, therefore, allows all of the exporters in Africa an opportunity to fly into Madrid and then on to Latin America, or into London and to pick up the British Airways network.
Security issues are very big in aviation. We know that, certainly on the passenger side. What sort of security adjustments have you had to make on the freighting side?
We have a very strict security regime, as do all airlines. The freighter aircraft is no different from the line haul in that respect. The new business we're looking to move on the freighter, which is different from that of the line haul, has its own set of very strict security measures, which we will of course adhere to.
Okay, and then obviously the airline business has gone through a bit of a topsy-turvy period post-credit crisis. It was the need for better fuel hedging strategies, better pricing in the midst of austerity measures. What are the costings when we're dealing with the cargo side of the business? How do you make your money? Yeah,
the freighter or the cost margins on the air freight business are similar to the passenger freight. So it's all about yield, the costs of moving freight. The market conditions dictate what those yields are, and it's up to us whether we can make the business model work.
Okay, thanks so much for coming through. We wish you well, and on the 1st of November we'll be watching. So that's Mark Stubbings, who is the commercial manager for Africa at British Airways World Cargo, that now has entered into an alliance with Iberia to form the International Airlines Group, and the first ever 747-800 freighter, the largest freighter plane coming through to Africa 1st of November.